So the essence of the teaching is really just to be still. Most people, when they hear of being still, they don't understand what Bhagavan Ramana means. But when he says be still, in Tamil, I've been told that the phrase that's translated as be still is summa ira, which means be still. And another word that's often used is mauna. Mauna means not stillness, but silence. Slight difference. It means the same thing in our context, in the spiritual context. Mauna means silence. Silence ordinarily means the absence of noise, doesn't it? And stillness ordinarily means the absence of movement. These are synonyms for liberation. So the absence of noise, silence, the absence of movement, that's stillness. Let's see what other synonyms for liberation we can come up with. I'll try and come up with a few. See if you can think along with me as I'm speaking. There's, well, mano nasa is one of the synonyms. It means destruction of the mind, which can be a bit scary to hear about that one. Nirvana. Nirvana means absence of, literally means absence of fire, absence of the flame. Often translated as extinguishment or annihilation. And the Buddha explained, the fire is the ego, the fire of the ego, the fire of egotism. So it means absence of the ego, nirvana. We have ananda. Ananda means happiness. It doesn't signify absence of anything if we take the word literally. But it does signify the absence of suffering. Another word, jnana, means knowledge. And what does knowledge mean? Knowledge means the absence of ignorance. So we have all these synonyms that are negating or pointing to the absence of something. Oh, we have a great one, Advaita. Anyone heard of Advaita? Advaita means non-duality. Dvaita means duality. Advaita means non-duality, absence of duality. So all these things that have been negated, all these words are synonymous with liberation. Or even liberation, moksha. Moksha means freedom. Mukti means freedom or liberation. It means the absence of bondage. Bondage, strange word in English to use, isn't it? Most people don't use that word. Bondage means being trapped. It's the opposite of freedom. It means literally means being bound. Being bound, being tied. Being trapped. We would normally say trapped. So bandha in Sanskrit and some North Indian languages is bondage. Moksha is freedom. So the absence of so all these terms are synonymous with liberation, but all the things they're negating are also synonyms. Do you understand what I mean? Let me explain. So all these things that are being negated are synonyms for ignorance or Maya. So we can have Sat. Sat is another synonym of liberation. Sat means truth or reality. And the opposite is Maya, which is illusion. Illusion as opposed to reality. Maya can also be translated as false, falseness, falsity. A word that's used synonymously with Maya is another word that's used by Shankara, mithya. Mithya. I don't usually use that word very much. Mithya is not a word that's found in the Upanishads or these sort of Vedic scriptures, but it's a word used by Shankara in his commentaries, mithya, and it's used synonymously with Maya to mean illusion. That which is unreal. That which is real is called Sat or Satya, and that which is unreal is Asat or Mithya. They're used synonymously. By the way, some sort of modern Vedantic scholars, the intellectuals, they all try and say that Mithya is not the same as Maya. It doesn't mean illusion. It means something much. But actually, that's not true. It's just synonymous with Maya or illusion or ignorance or mind, manas, mind. All these words are synonymous. So movement, noise, mind, ignorance, ego, the flame of egotism, bondage, these are all synonyms. So when Bhagavan says silence, he's talking about the absence of any noise. But noise of what? Noise of the ego, noise of ignorance. So the purpose of teaching is to be still. It's absence of movement. Movement of what? Movement of Maya. Movement of mind, manas. By the way, don't worry if you don't know all these Sanskrit words. It's not that important. It's nice to know, but it's understanding what they mean that's more important. It's just to be, not to be the body-mind, not to believe that you are a small entity living in a world, but to be what you truly are, that incredible, inexpressible vastness that you know yourself to be always. We always know what we are. In our hearts, we always know what we are. The problem is we start to listen to our mind, which interprets the senses in a specific way and creates the illusion that we are separate, we are small, and that we are one of many. That is duality, that is ignorance, that is Maya, that is ego, that is mind, that is movement, that is noise, that is the impurity. Whereas what you are is the opposite of all those things. It's the absence of those things. Absence of impurity, absence of mind, absence of ignorance, absence of movement, absence of pollution. And when we just relax and be what we are and take our focus off the mind and the objective phenomena and come back to ourselves, this is how we discover what we are. And this is the essential teaching. And this is the whole point of Satsang, the main point. We can summarize by saying this: do not take yourself to be the body or the mind. Do not take the body, mind, or world to be real, and just be that which you are. The spirit, or the consciousness, or the beingness, the presence, the isness, that is totally full in itself. In which there is no body or mind or world, but it's just full in itself. Remember this teaching that I'm expressing in words is always there in your heart. It's always pulling you towards it. Only because you think you're the body mind and you think the world is real, do you move away from it into the world, into the sense objects, into the mind. But when we come back to our own intuition, our own stillness, our own silence, we learn what we actually are.